This tiny bean is putting Uganda on the global map. And guess what? Most people have no idea how big Uganda's coffee industry is becoming. So, the Uganda Direct Coffee Conference at the NBS TV Centre hosted farmers, us, the coffee lovers, exporters and industry leaders to talk about the future of the Ugandan coffee industry. And of course, you're coming along. Definitely you will learn a thing or two.
We want smallholder farmers to move from being subsistence to being commercial, because that's where you'll get the change in Uganda. The thing that drives me as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, is to see that this country can develop, to see people, Ugandans, develop. This country has got so much potential. So coffee farming is one of the best ways to increase household income. One of the best ways actually to bring money into the rural economy and to bring it into the small farmer, to convert that small farmer from subsistence farmer to commercial farmer. So we want to put together both, we want to see that there's quality coffee, that there's good practice at the farm level, that there's consistency of supply and reliability. Because we don't want to see anybody who's saying, I'm promising people we'll give them 3 containers a month and then they can't supply. We want to raise the level of Uganda's coffee to something that becomes a household name. And we'll do that by branding. And we'll do that by these guys having our coffee in their coffee shops and brand it and say, this is Ugandan coffee.
Applause. Who stops Dr. Ian Clark while he's talking?
Our inflation rate is the lowest in the East African region. How do we ensure that Ugandans, you members of the private sector in this room, farmers and everyone along the value chain continues to earn but also scale our businesses? Recently, the government and World Bank on a project that we are yet to roll out to afford affordable credit to every player along the coffee value chain to penetrate markets, but also enable MSMEs in the industrial parks in the country to scale. And we are still refining that. We shall soon roll out at scale, and that's a fantastic thing. There is, of course, 2 lines of thought. While it's true that we donate value by exporting beans, and government, and we've had His Excellency the President increasingly challenge us that we need to roast here, there is another view around the shelf life of coffee that seems to suggest that yes, our approach should be multi-pronged. That is actually possible for Uganda to partner with roasters elsewhere, but that's a discussion that we need to interrogate in this room. I think there has never been a better time than now for us to start a business, especially young people. A young woman with experience in business can partner with your spouse, with your brother, with a friend, and as long as your documentation is clear, you're able to access, for the first time in Uganda, a loan product that is capped at 10% interest rate. Isn't that fantastic?
Are they taking the money?
They are, and actually paying back very well. So
or is the money still there? They can still come. How easy is it to access those funds, by the way?
Of course, the demand is huge. The demand is huge, and all you do is approach your bank and apply. They will guide you. The banks have been incentivized to ensure that that product is accessed very, very easily, and they're doing quite a good job. And recently, at the end of last year, we also rolled out what we called the Wi-Fi mechanism, and this is intended to guide financial institutions across the board and everybody supporting women-led businesses to have a uniform understanding of what a woman-led business is. So Uganda, good things are happening and we need to start businesses.
Our role as a government, we are supposed to formulate and implement policies, laws, standards, and regulations. You are not supposed to dry coffee on a bare ground. And in case you are found hurling wet coffee, you would pay about, I think, 4 million shillings, and you are liable to be jailed upon conviction for a period of about 8 years.
How are you doing that? Who stops these containers, who arrests?
So, majorly they are inspectors, and I'm one of those inspectors. They are called quality assurance officers. We inspect coffee deliveries in factories for FHU. Before coffee is taken into the line of production and processing, it has to meet the minimum requirement, majorly for moisture, and also the law was not so much restrictive on outturn, but in the future they could make it mandatory that a certain limit of defects must be met. Now, when it is processed, ready for export, the exporter requests for a pre-shipment inspection. The coffee is inspected, and if it is approved for export, it's loaded in our presses, and the container is sealed and leaves the country. We are there available to work even during holidays. Now, the European Union mandated that your coffee or your cocoa must not have been grown on a piece of land where trees were cut down. You must not have established your coffee farm on a piece of land where you cut trees in order to plant the coffee. For farms established from December 2020. Now, Uganda exports about 67% to the European market. It means the rest of the global markets share the difference of around 33%. So almost more than 60% ends up in the European market. Now, if these people have demanded that your coffee must comply to the deforestation-free zones, it means if you are not complying, we shall almost have nowhere to take our coffee. What are we doing as Ministry of Agriculture? The steps we've done was, our target was to register about 2.8 farmers. So the process begins with registration of farmers. The farmers have been, at least we've registered 1.65 million farmers, and there has been a rollout. I just checked recently on our website. There has been a call, and then the next project that is going on is the establishment of the traceability system through the districts and sub-counties. All coffee that is moving out will be sold through the system and can be installed on phones, especially for those with the Android version 4.1 and later phones. They'll be able to sell their coffee using a digital platform, effective, I think, 15th April, through districts and sub-counties. The creation of the system is mainly to meet the market requirement of the European Union.
Uganda happens to be the country with the highest number of certified farmers on the African continent. And in the whole world, we are only next to India. And that speaks to our culture. The soil fertility management, it speaks to the health of the soil, the health of the plant, the health of the animals. It speaks to the water quality. It speaks to the environment. And these are the concerns of the buyer. Because when they do this very well on their farm, they attain certification, which obviously gives them access to the market. They have to pay the certification fees, and the certificate is issued. That certificate is like the passport that they flash to the buyer or the market, and they will have their coffee bought. So if you take farmers through the process, right from the compliance of the standards and the traceability aspects, then when they meet the buyer, All that they have to do is to flash their certificate, and then they will have their coffee ordered for. We train them on the different aspects of the standards, and from there we then do what we call internal control systems or inspections, on the basis of which then the external certification bodies come and check it.
Asking me about specialty coffee challenges. The challenges are quite many, but most times the challenge starts from every point of planting the right seedling, picking the right cherry. It really takes a lot, and a lot of work, resources, in terms of inputs, how you take care of the coffee, the quality. So most times the market does not match with the price.
Yeah. So after the farmer registration, the traders and exporters are being enrolled. The process has already started on 15th April. The traders, exporters have been enrolled on the traceability system. So far, 2 systems have been rolled out. So you can choose whichever you want, and these systems are financed by by the government of Uganda and the Ministry of Agriculture. For the first 18 months, 1 year and a half, the training of traders, exporters, how to use that system, how to link the sources of the coffee to the buyers outside, that training is going to be free of charge. It's going to be carried by the government for the first 18 months. We have so far registered 1.6 million farmers. There is already a call for farms to register these farmers.
At first, people thought they were doing that commercially. Someone plants 10, 20, 30, 50, only commercial forest. Now, they have harvested.
Put up a requirement for the export of coffee from different destinations to their country was not about to natural or artificial forests. It was about reducing the carbon emissions, the destruction of the ozone layer. The law does not limit. It cuts across natural and artificial forests. Once we take the coordinates of your farm, they'll know that previously this area had trees of coffee. And that information is loaded in the data system, which is accessible to the buyers. So once they see the map, they'll tell that this place had trees or no trees.
Are people appreciating coffee tourism?
So you find ethical travelers moving into Uganda, going into coffee growing areas, and they would like to experience the origins of coffee. They are asking about specialty coffee cafes, cupping, tasting. So there is still room. There is just a virgin area. There is so much to do, and we need to do so.
Please, we encourage you to come and visit our farms and get to understand how coffee is grown. There are many other things. I know there are many people on board who have come on board to grow coffee, but please visit the farms.
Now, if we start to segment our coffee, then we can take a leaf from the French. For once, the French have something useful to teach us. Yeah, which is, you will never find in the market something called French wine. No. They tell you about Champagne, Bordeaux, Merlot, I don't know what. Why? Because the soils in the locations determine the quality of the grapes and therefore the type of wine and its taste. The Italians do the same. So why are we stuck in this thing called Ugandan coffee? It doesn't exist. Ugandan Robusta is the best coffee in the world for espressos. Espressos have become very popular with young people. They have a future market. There's not going to be enough Arabica for final consumption for all of you people who are urbanizing rapidly. if you get a CAP score of 84.5 with Robusta, there is not that much distinction between you and Arabica. Which means it's time for us to take Ugandan Robusta as a final consumption product in the market. But it means we have to start at the farm. How we handle the trees, how we handle the beans. Don't let goats and chicken be running over your coffee as you're drying it. Please pick red beans. These things matter. That's how we will command value for the broadest majority. The only way me and you are going to be price determinants is if my coffee is of such high value that I can look at you and tell you to go to hell if you don't want to give me the price I want. This journey starts with how you prepare the field, how you choose and select your planting materials. Don't just go to every nursery, I want coffee seedlings, you lift. No. Please understand the lines that exist and why they exist.
My question is about other varieties of coffee. Apart from Robusta, around central Uganda, we have a new variety, which is Excelsa or Iberica. So it's almost like Robusta, but there are many farmers who are doing it now in areas like Luero, Zirowe, and other areas. So how are we going to advocate for that too? Thank you.
The reason it was not encouraged was two things. One, it grows like a tree.
That's right.
Now, as you know, for us from this part of the world, we're challenged vertically. So you can't reach, then you have to start climbing and the labor involved in doing it. But there is one thing that's going to force us to go in that direction. It's just the climate change. And by the way, its bean apparently is very high value. That's the problem with Ugandans. I would like to caution you. Don't rush into fights. Because now you hear we're talking about Liberica, you're not going to rush. Where is Liberica? Where is Excelsa? No, calm down. That's how we were rushed into this thing of Brazilian method and I don't know what, and we suffered. If you don't have money, don't go into those things. Just relax. Experiment first. We first see what's happening. That's all. Coffee has been here since commercially. But commercially, they've been farming it since 1907. Yeah, so even your great-grandparents hadn't met to agree on producing you. So why are you rushing? Take your time.
I want Ugandans to appreciate there are only two countries in the entire world that produce what we call soft Robusta and Arabica, and that is Cameroon and Uganda.
And India.
Yes, India a little bit, but again because most of it is on the other side.
Yeah, and it's very little quantity.
Yes, so we are the only country that has the ability to provide Robustas at those fine tastes as some of the very best Arabicas in the world. So when it comes to value, what you hear, do this, go back to the basics that we always had, optimize on the farm element that we had, and guarantee me we can be able to already get the very best value. Already, Uganda's Robusta is fetching the most amount of money globally. And in 1954, the London futures prices were based on Uganda's Robustas.
One entry point into coffee is seedling development, and you don't need a lot of space. And the turnaround time is quick. It's like 6 months, and you're already selling. And please do not be deceived. There is a huge market for seedlings. Why? Because like us who have farms, we have to keep replacing damaged. So 6 months? 8 months to develop a nursery, and you sell. You get your money back, you return it in. So if the young people here are interested in going into coffee, a good entry point is seedlings for sale.
STI, there is a genotype that we are coming up with. There's a company called BGC in China. Guys had already gone ahead before we came in. They took our Robusta and they are putting it apart to be able to come up with a uniqueness that could be patentable. And for us, we don't know. Now, let me tell you something. In the 1960s, when Vietnam was, just before the Vietnam War in the 70s, they took our Robusta to Vietnam. Those guys have accelerated it. But the thing is that the moment they put it on the soils of Vietnam, it doesn't give you the same taste the Robusta here is giving. I don't know whether you know there is a new company from China called Coty Coffee that has come in here. I don't know whether you're realizing that they're becoming the largest buyers of Robusta very fast in a very short time, even bigger than Italy.
Let me just add another scientific thing. Greatly developed a synthetic option to coffee. Think about what the effects of that could be. Mimics the taste, mimics everything. It's just so if you fool around, they'll just switch. That's what they've done to the guys of cocoa.
Well, the people who are farming in smallholder, let's give them hope. And one of the reasons why we really participate in a big way is to bring close the market requirement to the farmers. Why we do cupping sessions in the farms is for, there are farmers who've never tasted a cappuccino. They don't know what espresso is. So unlike Ethiopia that is fully developed into that space, that farmers actually participate in the taking of coffee, here it's something that is just coming up. So tell the farmers, guys, this is something serious. It's something that will employ you, your children, and their children for a long time. The numbers are growing. By 2050, it's believed that the world will have 9.7 billion people. We're going to have big populations. So it is sure that the markets will be there. Even with the artificial development, there will be still need for the natural elements. We've seen it with all these good foods, organic things, and actually it will make it even more pricey that time. So what are we saying? Let's take it very serious. It can contribute, I believe, $10 billion from tourism, real taste, simple things that can only be upheld by the farmer.
Guys, to benefit from coffee, you don't have to be a coffee farmer. For instance, one of the biggest shortages is financial services support to coffee farmers. You all go and study accounts, you're focusing on IFRS, I don't know what. But nobody is studying the things which can affect, how do you account for agricultural produce? So manure, those things. So you can actually bring a service. Who has good marketing skills for farmers? You're there with your digital skills, dying, you're chasing telecoms. Come and market for me. Number 3, I have just worked with some very young people. They've just developed for me an excellent farm integrated management system. They wrote code from scratch. It is the thing that I have wanted. So my guy who is harvesting coffee using a phone, instead of sending me a text, just inputs the data. Then the system works itself. It just works. So please, don't just look at the trees. You can support the ecosystem in ways that are innovative, and we grow, then we pay you. If our product, consistency of quality, consistency of quantity, we would be able to bargain in the market. Right now we're getting 85% of the world market price as farmers by accident. Now if we were intentional, how much of it would we capture?
So use your spoon, the back of your spoon, to push the crust. You see the crust on top? 3 times, but move your nose closer. Move your nose closer. And try to sniff. Yeah? Nice.
Then after you lift the spoon and smell on it.
The foam. Yeah? You guys are professionals. You did well. So I'm going to give you water. Just raise the spoon. Okay, so we break once, so you can just move to the next cup and smell. Don't break again, just smell.
My name is Samali Nafagwe Kabale.
And she is with Little Farms.
Little farms is small family farm. Yeah, we call it little farms because we came up to collect little farmers that grow coffee and put them under this one cooperative where we export coffee directly to the market, cut out the middleman, basically.
Do you also train them? What do you guys also do as a service?
So far, we hadn't yet trained, but we do care about the quality of the coffee we have.
Okay.
Yeah, because going to the international market, it's big on quality. Coffee is a very wide. There's a lot of things we don't know about coffee as Ugandans. Since we don't really drink coffee, we do tea. So there's a lot of stuff we don't know about coffee. So we have 2 little farms, one in Germany and one in Hungary. I live in Hungary and we have Little Farms Hungary. If you check Facebook, there is Little Farms Hungary.
And Little Farms
Germany as well. Yeah, but it's the same company. In Uganda, we want the farmers.
They want the farmers. So just don't go there, sit on your coffee and expect miracles. These are people who help you.
We care about the value-added services.
Quality
and they do train. And if it's organic coffee and you can get it certified, that would be the best, because organic coffee, I mean, anything organic nowadays really sells well in Europe.
And I hope someone out there has learned something.
Hopefully. My name is Fiona and I'm from Oro Cafe. Producers of coffee products. We do produce roasted coffee beans, we do ground coffee, we have coffee capsules, and we also have our drip bags. Mainly we
This is Ugandan coffee, right?
Yes, this is a product of Uganda. We are located in Namamve.
They are located in Namamve. You have like a plant there?
Yes, our business is export. We do process and export coffee. So 2 years ago, we decided to do additional products. Value addition on our products, and we decided to come with a range of products. We have instant coffee, we have coffee premixes, we have the ground coffee beans, roasted coffee brand beans. You can find our products in some of the supermarkets. We are in Carrefour, we are in Quality, Standard supermarkets.
And which countries have you said that you guys export to?
Right now we export to UAE.
UAE only?
Yeah, that's Dubai.
So if someone is in Europe, they can't find you?
In Europe, we're just entering the market.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So if someone wants to reach out and get a bit of something like some bags of coffee from you guys, how can they reach out? Do you have like an Instagram? Do you have a TikTok? What do you guys have?
Okay, you can find all our handles: TikTok, Oro Cafe, Instagram, Oro Cafe. And then we have our website, www.discoverygroup.pg.
So thank you so much. Thank you for showing us your products. Guys, look at this. The packaging. It's only the packaging.
I learned a lot about how to actually sell Ugandan coffee to the German consumer in a way that they want to be sold the coffee too. Right now in Germany, they're very conscious consumers. They care a lot about where the coffee is coming from, who is growing it, how it got to them. So all these are very important things. If you look at the German population, you notice that they are a bit older than us here in Uganda, which means they have a bit more money because they're not paying a lot of school fees anymore. The kids have kind of left the house. This year, we are doing Uganda Cup in 5 different cities. And Uganda Cup is basically a coffee tasting tour. Different coffees from Uganda. Last year we had microlots from different parts of the country. So we're also trying to do a kind of show, even some coffees which are not attainable in the day-to-day, but to show you the range and diversity, to stop being thought of as only Robusta. And in Germany you have a lot of blends, so Robusta is usually filler. So we wanted to break that and say Uganda can do everything Brazil can do, or Panama, or Colombia. We can do it all because we're a producer country. So how does our coffee get onto the shelf? We create a market for it in a way that is undeniable for them. So this coffee tasting tour appeals to the consumers to appeal to the roasters. And if there's a farmer involved, then we can establish the direct relationship. That's where the money is. If you're a farmer and you work with the roaster directly, you can make a lot more money. Our comparative advantages: farming coffee. We have the land, we have the experience, and we also have the population for it. And most importantly, it can be an enabler for the economy. You have so many young people. I think it's a low barrier entry employment opportunity getting into coffee as a young person. So that can be played to our advantage. And this is what Uganda Cup is about, to create the direct relationships, to increase the value of Ugandan coffee, and most importantly, to create a pathway for you, the farmer, to get to the German market.
One and only
Barista Pato.
Barista Pato. Tell me, what do you think about the coffee in Uganda? Do you think it is, we are progressing very well? The economy is going up there. Tell me, since you're in coffee,
yes,
and you've seen a few things that are happening around Uganda.
Yes, please.
What can you say about it?
The coffee in Uganda actually is improving. People are learning how to take coffee, and the good thing, the coffee is at cheap price.
Yeah.
It's affordable. Everywhere you can get it at your own price.
So since you're a barista in Uganda, in Kampala specifically, if someone wants a very hot, nice cup of coffee,
yes,
where can they find you? Meanwhile, this guy is the best, guys. The best barista. Guy made me a cup of coffee. I was like, yo. So tell me, where can they find you?
Actually, you can find me behind Uganda House at this cafe.
Yes.
And sometimes you can find me at Kampala Forest Resort in Myenga. That's where I work from sometimes. I have handles like WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter.
So what's your handle on Instagram? Well, anyway, thank you for speaking to us.
Yes,
and
please.
Whoever needs a cup of coffee,
just look for
Kampala,
Barista Pato.
Barista Pato
behind Uganda House, this cafe.
Thank you for loving our coffee in Uganda. I think you can come and join us. The industry is okay, the industry is fresh. You can consult us.
All right, so thank you, Pato. And it was lovely to meet you at the NBS Centre.
NBS Centre. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Pleasure.
We have met Aura Cafe, and I must say for the last 18 years I haven't seen Ugandan brands branding this way. I'm so proud of you. I appreciate it. Very few brands you find on the supermarket shelves, and you cannot associate with global markets. And so if we're talking about branding, this is exactly what Ugandan brands should look like. Not so much clutter, but also very unique in terms of you know, it's sweet on the eye. I believe it's going to be sweet on the tongue as well.
Tom Kaliasubula.
Tom. So Tom, I heard that you export to like the EU, more specifically Germany.
Yes, I live in Germany and I own a coffee brand called Little Farms there. It's a specialty direct-to-consumer brand. On the side, I also sell green beans to roasters.
Okay, so the coffee is mainly from Uganda, right?
All the coffee is from Uganda.
And they sell it in Germany.
Germany, yes.
So all you people who are in Germany, this is the guy, this is your guy. So in case someone has their local coffee here in Uganda, how can they reach out to you, and what are the requirements needed if they want to export with you?
Yes. So I also own a Robusta farm in Kakoge. So the Robusta I roast and sell in Germany is actually from my farm. So what we do is we always find people who are going in the same direction in the container. So we consolidate, because as a small farmer with maybe a ton, it's too expensive to rent a whole container on your own. And it's even more expensive to fly it there. So what we do is we find people who are going in the same direction, put together in a container, and then get it there. So you can always reach out to me on Instagram. We're at Little Farms _coffee, and we can basically align on when you want to ship, and we can discuss the whole process.
So, for example, if someone is in Germany, and they want to become an exporter as well, maybe come to Uganda, do you have like any advice? How can they do it?
Yes.
Yeah. Where can they find you in
if
Germany?
If you are German and you want to import coffee from Uganda or become a Ugandan coffee exporter, I have a whole class on that. I offer a consultancy service, because coffee business is a lot. There's logistics, there's many different things you have to consider. So it's not a 1 hour quick solution. It's a whole conversation, and I'm happy to provide that support on not only export logistics but also building a brand that thrives in the German market.
So I think you've heard. This is the guy. Yeah? This is your guy. By the way, they're also having like a tour around Germany.
Yes,
Can you tell us a bit about this tour?
That's called Uganda Cup. Uganda Cup is a coffee tasting road show. This year it will cover 5 different cities in Germany, and the idea is to introduce Ugandan coffee to the German public in a way that creates demand for our beans with the roasters in each of those different cities. So it's not only brand building, Uganda origin, but also actually creating long-term direct relationships between roasters in Germany and farmers in Uganda.
Okay, so in case you need information about like this coffee cup tour, reach out, DM this guy, right?
Uganda Cup, yes.
And if you're in Germany, now you know what to do. Don't get fake coffee from nowhere.
Yes, we have
Uganda has
coffee.
The best coffee.
Yes.
Little Farms is the best one out there in Germany, and you can always reach out to him. I'll put his Instagram, and that's it. So
thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you for exporting our coffee to Germany and EU.
So as you can see, Ugandan coffee is more than just a drink. It is a growing movement. But in the comments, let me know, what do you think can be done for Ugandan coffee to be known globally? Leave me a comment, and if you haven't subscribed, I'm looking at you, you better subscribe. But for now, I'm going to enjoy a bunch of cups of coffee from Aura Cafe, and I'll be sure to see you guys in my next video. For now, bye!